Hello friends, Reckless episode. Today we're going to be going over we're refocusing on PvP retail announcement that went up on the 3rd of June. Kind of react to it, and I got some community posts also in the background that we're going to reference after we're going through the main articles. So let's get into it. Just going to do a quick reading. Hey friends, I'm Dave Guskin, and I've been on the lore team since 2018, previously serving as game director and design director. Recently, I moved into the executive producer role for lore, and we're in the midst of some changes with the game that we want to get you up to speed on. Alright, so I think that is the big shot role. You know, they're the biggest of boys. The lore team has regularly explored new game options and settings, leading to a number of insights into what you, the players, want most. One of the things we've learned is that while the Path of Champions mode currently provides a fun and solid experience, it's going to require significant investment to expand it to fully become what we envisioned. Hmm. Okay, weird. So I think already it's kind of like, well, normally when you outline projects, you estimate the time and all that stuff. I don't know how this is like used now. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's why like 2.0 didn't ship with like all the features they showed in the trailer. Maybe? Eh. So after a lot of conversations and reflection, we've decided that rather than continuing to split the game's focus between core PvP gameplay and the PvC game mode, we want to focus on hyper-serving our core PvP player base. This will include more consistent and well-tuned card updates, exciting new expansions that we hope you will all enjoy. At its core, lore is a CCG with a passionate community, and PvP is where we believe our team can best serve players and deliver an experience you will all continue to join. The Path of Champions game mode will remain playable, but will receive fewer updates from now on. Alright, so that, kind of feels bad. Like, I mostly do Path of Champions content. I do PvP content as well, but also I know most of the people watching my channel like Path of Champions content more. Alright, so how do we unpack this? This, I feel, is like really important, but it's worded super weird. It's like, yeah, so like, fuck this. Big spiel. And just leading with like, the game mode will remain playable is like, oh, okay, so we're not gonna get like Old Yeller taken to the back of the farm, and Sudoku. But we'll receive fewer updates from now on. I don't know. It just seems maybe I'm a pessimistic person in general. So maybe I'm just interpreting it kind of weirdly. Also one thing that seemed really weird to me is like this will include more more consistent updates. Like I would like more balance updates for sure. And exciting new expansions. Like I think all the expansions have been pretty exciting. This kind of implies that the current expansions haven't been exciting, which again, maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy, but it's like, what? I don't know. At the same time that we are refocusing on PvP and slowing down our efforts on the Path of Champions game mode, um, right, has so many projects that could benefit from all we have learned with you in our experiments so far. Without any spoilers, I can say that we're planning to share the love by redeploying a few of our game developers who have learned a lot from you to support some other projects around Rito, some of which are already live and playable, some of which are in R&D, are in our R&D pipeline, which I know you're excited to get your hands on. All right, this is the only Rito game I play, and I don't see that changing soon. MOBAs make me want to walk against traffic. I hate auto battlers. Um, MMOs are hardcore cocaine, so like I guess Rune King is the only thing I might be interested in at some point. So if you're one of our players who loves lore, and especially the Path of Champions, you can look forward to seeing glimmers of lore's influence in other games from Riot soon. So we got some stuff to unpack here. Mm, this is just a really interesting spin, I think, on like, yeah, a lot of our developers are getting pulled from lore to other games. how do we make this sound good? How do we make this sound like something you should be like happy about? It's like, oh well, we're spreading our infinite wisdom that we've learned with working with you, the player, and it's gonna be dope. You're gonna see all this like little sprinkle of genius we've gained in all these other games, and yeah, uh, like yeah, but I'd rather have more updates for lore, like even just PvP, right? Like I don't want developers going. So actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, do you think this is really like? Actually, wait. I'll do the crazy person theory at the end of the article. Though we are proud of some of the critical, though we are proud of some of the critical acclaim we've received since launch, what gives us the most pride is how committed our players are to the community we have built together. I don't know why. This is of some. I think this just reads weird. Again, maybe I'm like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something, but like we're proud of some of the critical acclaim we've received since launch. Like it's like, but not like this critical acclaim, really good. That critical acclaim, nah, I'm too good for that. F those people. Riot is also committed to continue to support our game and our community. This pivot will allow us to serve the core lore players and hyper focus on our core audience, while also turbocharging slip other great games from Riot by lending a few talented lore developers to their awesome teams. We are excited about what the future holds for lore and what that means to you, for you, our players. The players, the people. The competitiveness of the game, our engagement with the community, and frequent updates are the heartbeat of lore. Uh, and these things will remain intact, so we can build upon them as we work further defining our future. Yeah, so all right, as a PvP player, I need to shit on this a little. Okay, like if this if you're gonna do frequent updates and you're gonna jerk yourself off as if you do frequent updates, please like nerf your tier 1 decks. Like Ari Kennen shouldn't have gone into seasonals as like the de facto best deck in the format. Like that's not a sign of you frequently updating the game. I'm sorry. Like but I'll give them some props where they, you know, nerfed Ezreal Kennen before they went on vacation. It's like, yeah, you get that. That's fair. But like 1 for 1, and there's just been more instances where they're like, yeah, this is clearly gonna get nerfed after seasonals, but no, let's just play it out. We'll be back by the end of the summer, so we're in June right now, so end of August, 2 months, to give an updated look at our new focused roadmap. And we're excited to see how you like World Walker and future expansions in the meantime. I'm surprised they didn't say future exciting expansions, because clearly the previous expansions have not been exciting, and they did say these would be exciting, so, Finally, I want to thank JJ and Brett for their support in this new role. I don't know who those people are. Cool. I can't wait to see what they do next here at Rito. Wait, who are these people? Are they, like, new to the team? Did they, like, trade off? Oh, here's his little bio. Dave Guskin, aka Dave Tron, is executive producer and game director for Lore. He's a former MTG Pro Tour competitor and designer. Okay. He has never met a 3-card combo he doesn't like. I kind of want to look him up now. I wonder if he's like me, where it's like, we've played in we're a Magic Pro Tour competitor. How many have you played in? One. I've had GP success too. I haven't top 8'd, but I've top 32'd a good number. Alright, so where was my crazy person theory? Yeah, when they go on like, oh yeah, we're refocusing to PvP, and we'll have some people work on POC. It's like, okay, that's interesting. Oh, also, a lot of our developers are going away to other projects, and you know, they're gonna be sprinkling that Path of Champions insight and love across all of our games. So I wonder if this is just like upper management, like above the the Runeterra team, being like, oh, okay, well, for some reason we need to pull developers, and we are taking these developers, or like take your pick which developers are going. So they're just like, all right, so if we're losing developers, let's just claim we have opted in to focus on PvP and give these developers away and spin that as a magical thing. Um, all right, I know this is gonna read like copium. I like this sentence is very important. Like Path of Champions will remain playable. They're not gonna Sudoku it, but it'll receive fewer updates for now. So, like it's not going away. They're not deleting it. They didn't say it'll get no updates, but fewer updates doesn't bode too well. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like also there's like I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted because on one hand, I want to be like, oh well, like they didn't say it's gonna be zero. Maybe we'll get some stuff and it'll be fine. Odds are it won't though, right? Because at the same time, I think like they say they're gonna do all this stuff for PvP, but they've had the resources to do that before. Like remember, Path of Champions hasn't always existed in Runeterra. And even when Lab of Legends was doing well, PvP was their main focus, and they were still cocking up, updating stuff, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people think that. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know, it's not feeling good. And a big issue I have is I don't like this flip flopping, because if we go to literally 10 days ago, this got pointed out on Reddit. This is from a Reddit post, and I was like, holy shit, it has only been 10 days. Um, Path of Champions free to play. Like, oh, Path of Champions is really big. Um, and where was the big thing? Is the Path of Champions lore's new core game mode? Well, blah blah blah. It's important to address. Or brought a lot of new players into the game. And the majority of players spend most of their time in the mode. So, a majority that implies half the player base or more. So, 51%, 50%, however you want to cut it. This is still true today. Um, we know a significant number of PvP exclusive players are concerned about resources it's taken away. Since we know a bunch of players love it, but the team's working on traditional and more traditional PvP content. Each expansions, life balance, future draft mode are largely separate. In fact, the Path of Champions relies on a constant stream of fun and unique champions and cards that are developed for PvP first and foremost. We have no plan to reduce investment in either, and we're working to make both the best experience possible for all players who enjoy lore, no matter which part of it they enjoy most. So like this is 10 days later. 10 days later. I don't know. I kind of hate doing this like upper mat like theory crafting stuff because like I'm on the outside, but just like looking at this stuff, it kind of does seem like, oh yeah, this is great. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna support both PvP and PvE players. Everything's fantastic. The game can grow together. And the modes have a symbiotic relationship with each other. And then it's like upper management's like, yeah, we're gonna need some of your devs. And it's like, oh no, shit. Who do we shoot? Um, I personally like both game modes. I like PvP, I like PvE. So, I would personally prefer them to be like equally developed on. I don't, but hey, that's me. Odds are you, the viewer, would prefer more PvE stuff, but yeah. Silverfuse, she had an interesting take. Oh, this is not good. There's a lot loaded into this post. Seems like Path wasn't giving enough return on investment, and the new installment likely didn't see the influx of players they hoped for. Path felt like the future of the game, and seeing resources pulled sucks. Going from this game mode doubled our player base, and will be our focus to it no longer being worth the investment is not something any lure player, PvP or PvE, should want to see. Not a great sign about the state of the game. Yeah, right. Like if you double your player base essentially, right? Or like, well, I guess that maybe is like a weird assumption because it's like, in theory, not every Path of Champions player, Lab of Legends player like came out from nowhere, right? Like I played PvP, then they released labs, and I'm like, oh, I like labs. So, but yeah, it's like if it's half the player base, eh. I'm not gonna go into the thread because there was a lot of comments. This is just a funny a funny Reddit post. Somehow Riot managed to make see all three of these in the span of a few days. Favorite kid, drowning kid, skeleton at bottom of ocean. It's so true. It's so true. And lastly, I just want to touch on this because I saw I forget which account was mentioning it, but Umbridge, design director of lore, is leaving. Right, this happened in March, so you know there's kind of been change, I guess, happening in the team for a while. Don't really have any insight into that. Don't really want to speculate too much. So yeah, if you don't like this announcement or you agree or disagree with me, click that dislike button this time. You know, yours cost zero. And if you don't like this announcement, click this dislike. If you think things will be okay, click like. And if you want more Runeterra goodness, decimate that subscribe button. And I will see you next time.